Okay, this video is going to show you how to mount a new tire on a split rim for a 1926 Model T Ford. It's a 21-inch split rim. And first we're going to put baby powder into the tire. Shake it all around. Then I'm going to fill up my tube with some air. Not a lot, just a little. Then I'm going to work the tube into the tire carefully. Add just a little bit more air. Just check to make sure there's no kinks or anything in the tube on either side. Put just a little bit more powder in here. The powder hopefully will just help everything slide and keep the tube from pinching. All right. Next, set this on the side. Next, we're going to take the rim flap. I'm going to put powder on this again to try and keep it from kinking and pinching. Between the tire and the rim. So I start by putting the flap over the valve stem, and it takes a little bit to work it down in here, but once it gets started it goes okay. And then you just got to slowly work it all the way around. A little bit more difficult than the last one. So, more powder. And I'm going to reach my hand right in here and just make sure that this flap is where it needs to be. And it didn't get folded under. I think I put too much air in the tube. Make sure that the valve stem is nice and straight in the rim flap. Okay. Now set that to the side and back up here a little bit. All right, these are brand new rims, 21-inch split rims that I got from Lang's. Massachusetts. And I'm just using a turnbuckle. I put some tape on each side here to prevent too much damage to the rim. And I'm just going to stick it in here. And I'm just going to turn it. And the only issue, which I think that you're going to have this whether you use a special tool or not, the rim spreading tool, is that these are freshly painted rims, and I kind of dinged up the paint a little bit where it overlaps, but I'm not sure there's any way around that. So I'm cranking it in until the rim flap just barely, this little piece here that hooks just barely comes in line with the hole for the valve stem, because you don't want that to be in the way. And then set this down here, take my tire, and I've got some soap and water that I'm going to spray on my tire here. Here, just on the tire. I'm trying not to get it inside because I don't want it to mix with the baby powder too much. But just something to make it a little bit slick. And then hole for the valve stem first. Slide that in. Make sure it's as straight as possible. And then what I've been doing is kneeling on this and using this tire spoon, which is for a motorcycle, and I'm just going around the rim here and slowly working and moving where I'm kneeling as I'm doing this, making sure not to pinch the tire, I'm sorry, the tube, and just trying to get this bottom bead seated on the tire, or on the rim. Just a little bit at a time.
How you doing down here? What?
I paused the video for a minute because I told my wife I was making a video in the garage of how to mount a Model T tire on a rim and not to come out in the middle of it. And what do we suppose she did? She came out right in the middle of it. So anyway, working the tire around the rim here, being careful not to pinch it. Okay, so before you go too far, you want to make sure that the tube valve stem is in a okay spot before you loosen this up, because as you loosen it, it pulls this way and then it pulls the valve stem. So I have been going a little bit to this side so the valve stem's up a little bit, and then as it opens it pushes it back. And then I just open this up. It slides the rim back into shape, and if you actually hold down on it, you can get the turnbuckle to pop the rim back exactly where it needs to go for the tab to line up, for the bolt. And there it is, exactly where it needs to go. So, the only issue with this method, like I said before, is that I've scratched the rim, every single rim, in the same exact spot, and I'll show you here in a minute. And I'm not sure there's any way around it. The other thing is, it sometimes is just still a little bit off. So I've been using my rubber mallet to pound the rim around until I can be sure that the valve stem is not going to get pinched. I think that's pretty good. So as you can see here, there's one spot right here where I've scratched the rim a little bit. but nothing a little touch up with a brush can't fix. So, that's how to mount a new tire and tube on a 21-inch split rim without using the special tool. And I'm putting some air in here. Not a lot, but just enough to kind of see everything. And then I think I'm gonna take all the air out, bounce the tire around a little bit again after I have them all done, just to make sure everything's where it needs to be. But that's in a nutshell.